Yo folks, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we'll be covering the hidden gem of a gacha, Aether Gazer, a premier action RPG in a sci-fi setting. Really surprised me. We'll have a tier list at the end of the video. Also, today's video is sponsored by Aether Gazer, an anime sci-fi ARPG mobile game with amazing combat mechanics, an engrossing futuristic 3D world, and memorable characters in a fascinating story. We will take control of modifiers, our waifus, husbandos, virtual programs designed to protect the human consciousness. Every modifier has their own unique combat mechanics to interact with other characters. You can do like crazy ultimates that blow like the screens with like all the particles. Not to mention, you can create exclusive combos and strategic advantages. You can create squads that allow you to design the most unique teams to either fit a more casual or hardcore playstyle. I love them both. One of my favorite parts is using your own knowledge of each character as you play the game, and you have unique skill sets during the battle and powering them up to build combos. And you get to eventually customize your squad to unleash the most powerful form of your waifus, husbandos, modifiers to save the human consciousness and reach a promised future. It's action-packed combat requiring fast-paced decision-making and individual combat mechanics for every character, not to mention tons of enemies with different weaknesses and strengths. And there's going to be 3 modifiers to a squad, so there's going to be a lot of customizability. And of course, I have to mention the fact that we have 40 pulls as soon as you play the game that guarantees you an S rank, the highest rarity within the gachas. That is my favorite things about any gacha game, is being able to pull my favorite S ranks, and Aether Gazer provides you right at the gate. So in case you're interested, links in the description to download the games. Highly recommend. Let's jump back right into the video. Is it fun? Is it tactile? Does it feel good as you're playing it? Let's talk about what it is. So you control one character at a time, but you have 2 other characters on the field. Now you're not going to be switching characters and trying to overcomplicate mechanics with this action RPG. Aether Gazer is simplistic, and I think that is one of the hidden features that I absolutely love about this. A lot of the times when you have action RPGs, you can't really dial in on the character and you don't get really a good feel for them because you're controlling too many at once. With this, you control one character, as we said, but most of all, you really get into them, knowing the ins and outs, their skills. Are they a support? What do they actually do to make themselves really amazing? Now, a lot of the times when I'm playing action RPGs, I also get confused because there might be a delay between switching characters, or there might be a delay when I hit certain buttons or certain skills. Aether Gazer has none of that. So whenever I am controlling one character, everything is pointed to that one character. When I slam a skill, it points to that skill 1, skill 2, skill 3, not to mention the basic attack. So everything is highly responsive, and I absolutely love that. That is the basic key mechanic for any action RPG, especially on your mobile devices. And also, since I'm controlling one character at a time, I don't have to confuse myself with learning different abilities because the AI will take care of it. When I need like a heal, the AI knows. When I need like a stun or a CC, the AI won't apply at the proper times, but it'll definitely do it when the skill is off of cooldown, which I greatly appreciate it to make it easier and less cumbersome in order to time my attacks and just deal damage overall. Another thing that I also like is, in case I get bored with that one character, I can always switch in another like DPS oriented character. I'll have like 2 supports as far as like gameplay, ones that I will have, but it makes it easier so that team building mechanics, I can always have one DPS that I can switch in and out. I can also have the mindset of being like, oh, I want an ice team, I want a fire team. So for those worried about the repetitive nature of action RPGs, I really wouldn't worry about it because there's high team flexibility, but this also goes into the progression. How does it feel building teams, building characters and everything like that? And I want to say it feels really great, especially when it comes to leveling up, initially getting your equipment up. Now, one thing to note, sigils might be a little bit difficult. I'll have like a Reddit post that shows all of the different sigils. That way you can have like a more seamless process of understanding what is going on here, what the slot and everything. But going back into like leveling up and everything, it points you to the right direction, whether you need to limit break, and a lot of the times EXP comes really easy. Just the overall progression in Aether Gazer is straightforward. And it's really nice as you're going through the storyline, which of course you're going to be in this old world swallowed by a catastrophe. There's going to be survivors uploading their consciousness in that post-apocalyptic feel. There's going to be creatures called the Vizbane. You're going to be fighting them and they're eroding like civilization and all that. This also rolls into what your waifus and husbandos are. They're modifiers that are essentially taking down the Vizbane to save the world and civilization. That is what's happening. Vizbane against modifiers, and you're going to be the administrator controlling all the waifus and husbandos to make sure the world is at peace against those things. Also, this goes into the visuals in UI. How does everything look and feel that way? Honestly, UI is my favorite part of Aether Gazer once again, because I can go through the menus, I can easily upgrade characters, and it's just really easy just jumping between different things and just knowing what I actually need. There's also not like a cumbersome, like, you know, amounts of materials that I can understand, because a lot of times there would be so many different things I have to pay attention to. Aether Gazer, straightforward. Of course, waifus look great. All of the different designs, the particle effects and whatnot. It's absolutely beautiful. Same with these bandos. They look gorgeous. Audio, English VAs are greatly appreciated. Not to mention the soundtrack is top tier. Definitely one of my favorite parts to it. I can jam right easily. Overall replayability factor, I would say it's 100% totally fun, but just make sure you switch out characters. I think a lot of the times you might get dialed into the fact that you build one character or you build 3 characters. Yes, that is definitely important for progression. I would be a mistake to build more than 3 characters at a time at the very beginning when you're very limited on resources. But once you get maybe to mid-game, you've beaten the storyline, or you've gotten to a point where you just want to have like a little bit of a difference, then make sure to build a different character. That way replayability is easier on the hands. Overall, it's really good handheld feel on the phones. It was really nice. And I'm playing on a Galaxy S10 Plus, so it's not like the craziest phone. It's like 3 to 4 years old, something like that. And it plays fine, doesn't drain the battery on the highest settings. I love it. I definitely recommend to play it. So those are some thoughts, first impressions, hidden gems, and why I think it's worth to play the Aether Gazers. Let's get into that tier list. This is going to be by Gamer Braves. And just know a lot of the notes right here is going to be referencing this Google spreadsheet. So huge thank yous to Tosaka, NepNep number 01, and Uzuen number 4426, and Hawis number 4073, and Hakwa number 2506. I just want to give you guys like the credits and all the people involved within, like, you know, the Google spreadsheets, right? So here it is. Asura, this is going to be the character that you're most likely going to get on like the 40 poll pity, which I really love, by the way, because you're guaranteed an S rank character. We'll talk about how you can get like a guaranteed S rank character selector, but Asura is really good. They have like that time stop skill where they lock a unit in place and they won't be able to move. Poseidon, this is going to be another unit that you should be able to have access to. They're going to be ice energy, strong AoE. Tyr is going to be like the Husbando shield dude. He has a crazy single target skill. I think it's on his S3. Tsuyomi, one of the highest DPS melee wise, can be an insane modifier. Just know in the later halves, as more units come out, they might bump down into like A rank, but that's just because there's more units. Osiris, best choice for DPS overall, perfect as an AI controlled member as well, so they can plug and play. Hell, top tier range DPS might be a little bit boring to play gameplay wise. We have Hair right here, a top tier support. Honestly, any top tier supports are welcome. They can plug and play onto almost every team, not to mention they're light. Scotty, ice unit, 2 distinct playstyles, either deal good damage or a blue Aether Code team or ice type team. You have Leviathan, the counter type healer, and also provides buff. Probably one of the best supports in the game. You have Kinino Tokotachi, hopefully I'm saying that. Very versatile and different conditions apply, but they're going to be a lightning, fire, and wind, so that's going to be a little bit confusing. And then we have Okunushi. Now, some people would make them a little bit higher on the tier list because they're support, they provide buffs and utility, but I guess this one they have it a little bit lower in A rank. Leviathan, she's going to be like an anchor waifu. Decent damage, overall CC. She's an ice unit, that's why you would use them. And then we have Nuada or Argeltalum. I don't know if I'm saying that. They got super armor, which makes it easier so that they're not going to be thrown around on the field. You also have Buzenbo Tengu. Average damage, requires less investment to be effective, not to mention their physical unit. Apollo, the sniper unit. I really like this unit. I've been using them as a support personally. They have like infinite like rolls and dodges, but they don't deal like the craziest damage compared to others. You also have Shu, high damage potential, but they have high cooldown, so it's going to be high skill ceiling. Yeah, Tsukuyomi, Sakobo, and they're going to be similar to Shu, high damage, but high skill cooldowns. And then we also have Vidara here, can improve ice attack and reduce enemy resistance, so put them on an ice team. We have Holder, who can increase damage up to 30% thanks to self buffs. And then we have Kogutsushi, who's going to be difficult to use, requires some investment, but it's going to be really worth the play at the end of the day. We also have Sebek, who's going to be a water unit, great against certain types of enemies, weak against water. And then Verdhandi, who's going to be the free character you get, decent output of damage. Some tier lists have them pretty high. And then you also have Zenkibo, another like free character, low damage output. But honestly, all the characters work really well. Here's some other tier lists in case you guys want to get a feel for how everything works. So yeah, just one thing to note, you'll see that a lot of the characters that are going to be highly rated are going to be the S rank units like Poseidon, Asura, and then not to mention that one husbando, his name was, what is it, Tier. But overall, when it comes to tier lists, pick whichever character. I love Aether Gazer's flexibility. I think what's going to be more important is having different elemental types to tackle, the grading and difficulty of the content. There is going to be difficult content released down the road. Not to mention there's going to be roguelike gameplay eventually admitted, or you can unlock it. And that's going to be another part of the replayability factor when it comes to Aether Gazer. So when it comes down to it, I really recommend it. I've been playing it on and off my mobile devices in the week that it's been out. I've been having a lot of fun. It's been a while since I had an action RPG that was just really great to play. Not to mention, I just appreciate the fact when I jump into the game, I get 40 summons, a guaranteed S rank. Also, speaking of which, how do I get the S rank selector? You get this by getting the monthly pack. I think it's like $5 or something like that, right? You spend some money and then you pick the units. The ones that most people recommend are going to be the Poseidons or the Oken Yushi right here. But, pick whichever character that you feel is right. But yeah, if you want more details on all of like the different characters and how they work, I really recommend jumping into the Google spreadsheets, making your own decisions, and not just blindly following a tier list, because a lot of times these can be wrong, and it's better to make informed decisions when you actually understand the kits fully and this, that, and the third. That's Aether Gazer. Recommends. Definitely play it, enjoy it, have your own opinions. Let me know down in the comments in case you guys enjoyed it. But anyways, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, and once we have 40k subs, we'll be doing a giveaway. Follow me on Instagram in case you want to see my face. And most of all, play the game. Download the game, link in the description, and play it. I recommend it. Once again, thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day, and see you guys in the next one.